I actually didn't even have to try out for the role, so
You know why? Because in reality, he is Claptrap, I swear to God.
Well, that was my nickname in college, you know, that's how we knew.
Claptrap.
Yeah.
In college, it's cleared up.
Yeah.
A little shot of penicillin. So, other voice actors, what is this panel about specifically? Do we have a
I
clue?
have no idea. It's 18 and over, I know that.
You want to make it all Q&A?
Can we dim the lights? Can we dim the lights?
Can we take at least one of the light things down? Who's near the light switch? I see it on the wall right there by that door.
Let's make it sexy.
Pull one of those down.
Those are awesome.
Now this one right here in front of this door, right there. Pull some of those knobs down and see if it gets dark. Right? Pull those knobs. I know.
Just a little bit.
It's so weird, John. Your voice and your looks together. It's like if Barry White had sex with Biff Tannen or something like that.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right. You should save that shit for the roast tomorrow. If you guys didn't know, tomorrow night at 11 o'clock, they're roasting me here at this. It's going to be in I think the main one, the Renaissance Ball.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I want to see this.
Awesome.
It's going to be fun
11
because
o'clock tomorrow night?
11 o'clock they're going to tear me a new one, and they're going to be very mean. And,
Which is really hard if you know John.
It's really easy.
It's really
Actually, you're being sarcastic now. So we can make this panel about whatever the fuck we want, and it's 18 plus, so we can say fuck. I can say motherfucker, cocksucker, asshole.
Doo-doo, crap.
It's your turn, Cricket. Come on.
But every day I swear so badly that I try to curb it.
And now you're not.
I mean, I say cunt at least once a day. And I know, I'm just saying that too. And so I said it once today.
For a man, there's only one proper time to say cunt.
When?
For a woman, she calls men cunts.
That's
now,
right.
Right? Yeah.
That's the worst insult you could probably hear, yeah. So yeah, I'll swear.
Nah.
Really,
I'm pretty sure fuck your grandmother's cunt's worse than just calling you a cunt.
Oh, God.
He makes a valid point. Come on, he has a valid point.
I guess you're right.
Okay, are we discussing you yet?
No.
Then let's move on to Q&A, and let's stay out of the professional realm of voice acting and make it all personal.
Oh,
shall we? Right? Are you up for that, Cricket? Can you handle
I
it?
have nothing down.
Okay, who has the first personal question? Right here in the front.
So how uncomfortable are you today, Cricket?
I'm okay, actually. I have to tell
Are
you,
you
I
sure,
like the
Cricket?
company of
Are you
men.
sure?
How much now?
My man and my security guard is sitting right
I was
over
actually
there.
grabbing her ass. What were you
Take care
doing?
of me.
I got your hand up front.
I got my glove.
Thank you. You will protect me. I actually feel great. I'm better in the company of men than women usually.
I'm required by law to let you know that I'm a registered woman.
No pedophiles allowed. No, I'm good. I'm not uncomfortable. I'm psyched to be here, and I'm happy you guys are here.
And you get to pick the next question.
Sorry?
This is your first con, right?
It is. Yes.
First ever?
Yes, I'm virgin.
Virgin.
I know. I've been invited to lots of them, obviously. When I lived in LA, it's Comic-Con there, Comic-Con in New York, and I was never around to be able to go to them. So this is my first.
Coinky Dink.
Thanks
Where
for
do you
popping my
live?
con cherry.
What is your home city?
Well, I was born in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Michigan.
That's right.
Where is that in Michigan? Show me.
All right. Then I went to Chicago, went to high school, then New York for college.
Then you know this one. Chicken in the pot, the cow won't go.
College.
College, thank you, guys. Yeah, education. And then LA for 12 horrendous years. I would say never moved there. It's a hell.
She lives in Smelly.
It's hell on earth. It is. I'm sorry. Everyone loved it but me. Hiking, biking, I wanted to die.
Oh, no, I'm right there with you.
Ugh,
I drive up from San Diego and I fucking
San
hate it.
Diego's beautiful.
Yeah, San Diego rocks. Smell A sucks.
But Chicago's the best city I've ever lived in.
Yeah, go for blowy, windy
Vegas.
city. Blow me, windy city.
Vegas, we don't get along very well.
Okay, Cricket, you get to pick the next question.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, whoa.
There's only one.
Yes.
It's easy.
He's awesome.
This is for David. This is for David.
Okay.
Craziest thing you've done while wasted.
Oh, God.
How much time do we
Can I
have?
answer that? Because I think I know.
How much time do we have? Seriously.
Oh, we got plenty of time.
Here's the funny thing is you actually don't know my reputation.
Nope.
And if you would just ask around, you would hear a lot of stories. And not all of them are true, but most of them are true. And it's strange now because my habits have actually, and my actions have actually declined over as I've gotten older and I slowed down. but my reputation has gotten bigger and bigger, and I feel like sometimes I have to, you know, like keep up with my old self. It's weird. It's like seeing the Ghost Driver, you know, and I'm just like trying to like, oh fuck, I was fast one day, you know. So the reality is I wouldn't remember the craziest thing that I've done when I was wasted, but there's a lot of people that would. And
May I?
Yeah, go for it, John.
Okay, YomaCon, 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago? It was 2 years ago.
Wait, oh, yeah, 2 years ago, yeah.
Okay, so you know the bar's closed.
Is this, wait, hold on, is this about the dude that lit his dick on fire?
No.
If he's leaving that one behind, then you know this one's got to be better.
Okay, so
Give the man a chance to tell.
so it's 2 a.m. and the bars have closed and we're out of alcohol. So we're hungry. So we go to Greek Town to get some food. It's just a few blocks away, and we're eating and we're talking about what are we going to do next? Let's buy some strippers. Let's just go see some strippers. It'll be fun. And so our waitress who dearly loved us because we tipped her so well. Remember that pile of cash we left for her? Anyway, we must have tipped her like $200. Anyway, she goes, "Oh yeah, there's a strip club down the street that has midget strippers." And Eddings has a penchant now
Lap dances are half off.
for midget strippers. And
2 for 1.
he absolutely was not going to give up for the night until we found a midget stripper.
Look, midget strippers have a thing for me.
But that's just the beginning of the story. Right? So we try to find strip clubs with midget strippers. There are none. Okay, but so it's 4:30 a.m. and we're walking 5 or 6 blocks back to the Crown Plaza, which is our hotel, through downtown Detroit. Just white guys.
Wow.
You and me and a couple other white guys, as I recall. When this dude walks up, he looks homeless, and the first words out of his mouth, you remember? "Hey, I don't do drugs, but..." You remember?
Yeah.
Okay, so he wants to sell us crack. Okay, so if it's you, what do? Well, you kind of go, "No thanks," and you turn around and you walk away. That's not what David Eddings does. David decides he's going to diffuse the situation. So you remember this well, don't you?
It's coming back to me now.
So he engages the crack dealer in conversation, and me and the 2 other guys, we're walking, you know, a few steps ahead of him, kind of ignoring him for 5 or 6 minutes, or about a block and a half. And then finally we slow down and wait for them to catch up so we can hear the conversation. And Eddings at this point has convinced the crack dealer that unless we're getting from some free samples, fuck you. We're gonna try it before we buy it, or we're done here. And the crack dealer is so freaking flustered, he turns around and walks away.
Your power of persuasion is...
That's how you do it.
Hey, buy fake crack.
That may not be the craziest thing he's done drunk, but I witnessed it, so I can...
Well, he said what I remembered, and again, I totally believe you. It sounds exactly like something that I do.
Did you ever find the midgets? No.
Yeah,
But if you know where
but
there's
there's always
midgets-
tonight.
There's always the night.
Not in Detroit.
Yes.
No midgets
Yes.
here?
Just
Wait.
not that night.
David, do you remember City Club? You guys know City Club Detroit? Okay, we were at City Club. Yeah.
I'm gonna go sit in the audience.
Oh, you can have my seat.
That place was... How would you describe it?
It is the seediest butthole in all of Detroit.
Wow.
That's what they promised.
The seediest butthole.
That's not what it is.
That's what they promised.
That was an interesting experience. Where's the next question coming
Oh, I'd
from?
like to answer this question though, which is the craziest. You know what? Actually, that was pretty good.
Pretty good. Why are you bearing the lead?
All right.
Oh, David, I want you to know the huge video
Oh,
camera.
listen. By the way, the story you told is what I would tell at Thanksgiving.
I shall step back and
So-
touch myself on another.
All right. First of all, there's a panel tomorrow called Story Time with David Eddings. No, I'm happy to tell Dick on Fire's story twice, but I've got so many to go through. There's no reason to
I don't know Dick on Fire. Is that the one you can tell?
I can tell them all.
Ladies and gentlemen,
That's what.
Dick on Fire!
I'm telling you, like that's like a 5 or 5.5 on the list of like good stories.
But tell it.
All right. But first of all, let me just say, there's tomorrow. I'm gonna tease something. Tomorrow, there's a panel story time with David Eddings. And what I wanted to do is create a wheel with just like subjects on there, so have people spin it, because there's like a shit ton, like William Shatner, George R.R. Martin,
But nobody in your league.
no, not at all. No. But all these different like just situations, whatever, and then spin them because I have a shit ton. I grew up in the entertainment industry, in the cons. I've been going to conventions since I was 6 years old because my father hosted these things. And so, as a kid, growing up, imagine all your life, this is what you do all the time, right? And then you get to work in the entertainment industry, so there's just a shit ton of like things and like, what the fuck, I was there for that, right? Or I participated, or it was my fault. So there's lots of...
So those are the ones we want to hear.
Yeah, so all right, Dick on Fire.
Was that your fault?
Was fire not your fault?
No.
I wasn't your dick.
Did you
Let's hear this.
I was a witness. All right, first of all, I'm going to tease another story to this story. So, I'm in San Francisco. It's the first time I've ever been there. We were releasing a game called Kiss Psycho Circus when I was at Gathering of Developers, also called God Games. Kiss. Kiss shows up in full costume and makeup. I got lots of stories about Gene Simmons, by the way. The fucker's an asshole.
I'm not surprised.
I'm giving it away.
You're on video.
Giving it away.
You're being
It's okay. I'll say that, Gene.
Dick on fire. No, Dick on fire.
And I'm happy to tell that story because it's true. This is not, by the way, anything illegal. I can totally say this because everything I say is true. So, in fact, he's an asshole is my opinion. But the things that he's done are terrible. But anyway.
Dick on fire.
Dick on fire. So, we're releasing Kiss Psycho Circus. And we released, that was a release party at a hotel in San Francisco called the Phoenix. It's an old rock and roll hotel. And we got all the folks from God Games there, and we got our friends and someone who were there. We were there early, and we decided we're going to walk around San Francisco. We've never been there before. So we're walking around, and there's a dude in chaps. First time in San Francisco for a lot of us Texas people, right? And so we see this guy, he's got assless chaps on, and he's walking down the street by himself, by the way. We're like, all right, San Francisco. That's just what. And then we move a little further. There's a guy with like the studded vest, and he's got the the leather captain's hat on or whatever, and walking down the road. There's a couple guys like that, yeah. It's just, and then we went down a couple more streets, and there was a gay pride parade. So as we're walking through, this is just that day, is what I'm saying. So that day was the day that they had a gay pride parade in the year 2000 when we released Kiss Psycho Circus. Somebody can Wikipedia that shit, I bet. So, 35 of us from God Games, a bunch of Texas yokels. We got cowboy hats on and shit. We're walking around trying to find an open bar at about 2:30 in the afternoon, and we find one. Yeah, we find one, and we go in. It's like, are you open? We're like, yeah, great. Okay, there's nobody there. It's just us, but it's just a lot of space in here. And we go in, and we just start ordering alcohol. And we're also a bunch of smokers, which is really, you couldn't smoke in San Francisco. Unless it's weed, and then that's totally cool, man. But like totally cigarettes. But so, I remember that because I was outside smoking, and I walk in, and there's this guy, the bartender, who's like, y'all want to see me light my dick on fire?
Is this right when you walk into the joint?
Yeah,
First thing?
right then. And I'm like,
That's hospitality.
no, that's what I know. Okay, now, there was already like 20 of my friends that were already in. They walked in, but there's 15 of us that are outside smoking. And we finished the cigarettes, so it was enough time for him to get to know everybody. Right? And the only answer to that question is yes.
Yes.
Right? It's always yes.
Yes.
So he lit his dick on fire.
No.
Yeah, no, he told me. No, he did. Oh, did.
My dick is not flammable.
No.
How did you set his dick on fire?
He pulled his dick out.
Oh!
And well, you kind of have to do that part first. I thought you knew that was coming. That guy's surprised, like, what? What? Holy shit!
I thought he let his pants
It's for real! Oh my god!
I thought he let his pants
No! He pulled his penis out, and he poured Everclear on it, and he lit it. And he was carrying a torch, and he wasn't using any hands. And then we're looking around, we're like, where are we? And it was an S&M bar. So I pulled my dick out.
Most didn't ever clear.
All right.
Okay,
I can remember that one, by the way.
Can I ask the next question? Man, that was quite a story.
By the way, I also told that at Thanksgiving.
Nice. And the family loved it. The nieces and nephews were thrilled, I'm
Well,
sure.
my mother-in-law's hard of hearing.
I bet your wife didn't fuck you for a week after that. That's why she called me. Anyway, if I may ask the next question, I'd like to ask
I'll
Cricket.
pick one, you.
Cricket, what's the craziest fucking thing you've done drunk? I want to know.
There's so many, you know, I mean, I'm a pretty good girl. I hate to say it. I know.
Do you
I'm a
drink?
Scorpio. Yes.
Have you
By the way,
been
does
drunk?
anybody believe that? It sounded like a lie. Whether you heard it or
Honestly, I really am a
Oh,
good
I'm
girl.
such a good girl.
No, I am. I'm a pretty controlled person, but yeah, it's happened. Oh, wait, okay, one time I was at a concert, and it was Soundgarden, and that ages me, but I don't care.
We're not judging.
Okay, because Chris Cornell, you know, anyway.
Who? I'm not old enough to know who
Stop.
that is.
I know. Earlier I made a reference to Love Boat, and the guy looked at me and I said, "You don't know what that is?" He said, "No." And a little part of me died, but a little part of me was happy. Fuck it. Anyway, so I was at the Soundgarden concert.
Was that all the people that were stranded on the island?
No, it's Fantasy Island! Don't you know Aaron Spelling show? Vintage Aaron Spelling.
No, that's
But that's got a midget in it, which makes sense that you would know what that is, because you're obsessed with midgets.
Gilligan, right?
Anyway, so I'm watching the concert, and I had to pee, and,
It always starts with the
yeah, I had to pee, and I went to the, bathroom, yeah, and there was a huge line, and I was like, hells no, I'm not waiting in that. So I just decided, I had tights and combat boots and a mini skirt, but I was like, I really gotta go, you know? And so I went to the men's room, and I put my tights down, and I pulled a leg up, and I pissed standing up in a urinal.
Right here! Yeah. The colonel.
And a lot of guys hit on me afterward. Funny enough, they were like, "This is so fucking hot." I was
I
like,
a fucking high five you right there.
and I got a pin. Funny enough, John Lennon's son was there. Sean. Wait, Sean was the younger
Yeah,
one.
Sean,
the real one?
That's Sean.
Yes, Sean. And he came up to
Yoko's
me
son.
silently and he handed me a button and it said, "I fuck goats."
Wait,
And I have it.
he
And
was
I
in the
kept
men's
it.
restroom?
No, he was outside watching the concert, and
No,
he
but-
was like, just like a cool peace offering
Oh,
or
so
something.
he didn't see you do that?
No, but I think he might have heard about it.
You know, the fact that you did that, you've got a bigger cock than he does. Or at least bigger balls.
Sometimes you gotta go, and you don't.
Okay, I'm just like, did you split something else wall? Or did you
No, like,
put your
I
foot
just-
Come on,
up
show
the
us.
urinal?
Use this wall right here. Come on. David, demonstrate.
Show us, show us how
No.
Cricket, it's not half as fun unless you do it. We want a
I'm
reenactment.
standing, and I just put this one up, and I just.
Okay, show us, or we're not going to believe you.
No
Did
need.
anybody buy this bullshit unless she shows us? Does it show us?
You guys know what I did.
I don't know what you did.
Okay, I haven't known a chick ever that. Oh wait, here it is. Here it is.
Oh, so you did.
That's so much worse than I imagined!
I don't understand why you didn't do like every chick I've ever taken to a concert to squat between cars in the parking lot and piss. Isn't that what all girls do?
Well, we were inside. It was New York City. And it was raining, and I, you know.
Oh, okay.
I was
Well,
like, no.
ooh, knuckles, really?
Yeah.
Because yeah.
Sounds like
Anyway,
a Suzanne Vegas
So
song.
that's something fun that I did, John.
Holy shit. All right, now John,
Yes,
Oh.
sir.
I think it's time for you to answer the same
Same
question.
question.
Let's hear this, man.
What's the question? What did I ask? I forgot. That was 10 minutes ago.
Craziest thing you
Justine, that was last weekend in Rockville, Maryland. See that bottle of Patron down at the end there?
Yeah, it's gone.
Wait, hold on.
What?
This was John.
Okay. Oh. Wow. Can you stop rolling?
Oh, it's off the record.
You want
I
it?
just talked about pain.
No, I can't talk about it. Go ahead and keep rolling. I just
Honestly, I
can't.
gotta say, it's weird this is
Well,
gonna
the
be on
craziest thing I
YouTube
ever did was
for the
last weekend. It's very fresh in
Poor
my
Sean
memory.
Lennon.
I mean, if you really want this to get good, you gotta tell him to turn that camera off.
Turn it off.
Turn the camera off. Turn it off.
All right.
She talked
All
about
right.
She talked about a guy getting.
It's
Shortly
like
after
Munchausen
almost
proxy.
died.
Munchausen by proxy, right? What is it? No, it's called Munchausen syndrome by proxy. Yeah, it's a really long thing, title for or label.
Somebody who tries to kill somebody to get
So my
attention
wife
from
was trying to
themselves.
poison me,
What?
and then like trying to oh, I'm gonna take care of him. So you're recording now, great. By the way, she's heard this a million times. It's old shit to her.
Yeah.
The reality is, I was dying, It was the day I went back to Dallas after being here in Detroit for the first time. Youmacon. I went back to Dallas, and I went to the hospital the next day because I lost my lungs were filling up with blood.
Oh.
Now, by the way, this is a perfect place to do this because I have pictures.
What did that feel like?
18 plus only. Like, if blood bothers you, you should walk out the room or something like that.
We're going to put them on the screen.
You don't want to hear this. This might bore you the fuck out of you. But I lost over half the blood in my body through my lungs. Would you like to know more?
He coughed it out. He coughed up quarts of blood at a time. I've seen the pictures. It's disgusting.
I have pictures on my phone right now.
Show us the pictures.
No, we don't want
He could,
Let me
but-
describe it to you instead, and you are more than welcome to see them later on.
I want to see him chat.
All right, great.
Take you up on that offer.
Perfect,
There will be a
perfect.
line after.
I tell you what, I'm gonna tweet it. And
You know what you want to do, David? Wait. You know what you need to do? You need to print those fucking pictures and autograph them. That's $5 a piece on those fuckers. Look, piece of
$5 a
David
piece
long.
or a hand job.
I'll give you both.
You can have two.
How are we gonna up that? How can we beat that?
All right, well, I can tell you the story if you
He's
want,
got the
because this
overhead
is a
now.
true story. I mean, we're all telling the truth, and you can film this. Everybody, So, I've been thinking actually about putting this on Reddit because, believe it or not, Reddit and Twitter really was part of my healing process. It was really strange. I went back to Dallas from first trip here at Youmacon, and it was November the 4th, 2013. And I went outside and I smoked a cigarette. It was the last cigarette that I ever had. I took 3 puffs.
Yeah, you can clap for that's the last cigarette I ever had. Fucking ain't right.
And it was the day after was the first time I knew that I would never have one again because I quit so many times before and I always knew I was going to smoke another one, right?
Yeah, but you never coughed up a quart of blood before.
No, and then every hour since, right? You know, so my lungs fill up with blood, and I go to I'm calling the doctor, and the doctor's like, "Oh, people cough up blood, whatever. It's not a big deal." Yeah. He said, well, it's wintertime, right? And I just got back from Detroit. It was really cold here. And he said, sometimes people cough so hard they break capillaries, right? And they'll have a little bit of blood in the spit. And I'm like, no, like this is blood. I mean, it's just like it's like I drowned in a vat of blood, and somebody pulled me out, and they held me upside down, and that's what poured out, right? And he's still not getting it, And so he's like, well, go to the emergency room. And so we went to the emergency room, and of course, the moment that we go to the emergency room is when all of a sudden I'm not coughing up blood anymore, right? And so they do an X-ray, and they see a little bit of congealed blood in my lung, and they're like, well, you have a little bit of pneumonia. Why don't you just go home, and you'll be fine, or whatever.
Hey, what room are we in? And people know. The South.
Oh,
Sorry, continue.
that's okay. So, so they sent me home, and I told the doctor at the emergency room, I said, listen, I'm coughing up blood from my lungs. My lungs are bleeding. He's like, if your lungs are bleeding, you'd be dead. And I was like, I'm letting you know, there's blood coming from my lungs. He goes, it's not that, whatever. And so they sent me home. And of course, the moment I get home, it just doesn't stop, right? And it's just a lot of blood. I've got like a big punch bowl on the floor, and I'm hanging upside down off my
Grab your
bed.
straws.
So because when you're drowning in blood, you want to hang upside down so gravity helps you get it out, right? No, I'm serious. This was fucking weird shit, man.
Kind of harshy my mellow.
I'm sorry. You know what?
Hey, you survived.
Hey, you know what? This is cathartic for me. Do y'all mind? Can I do this?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll try to make it quick.
You?
So, all right. Anyway, long story short, I was in the hospital for a month. I lost over half the blood in my body. Didn't sleep a wink for 6 weeks. Sleeping meant dying. Also, they gave me so much steroids you couldn't sleep if you wanted to. I felt like Superman. I never felt any pain, and I was dying. And that fucks with your brain, especially when you haven't slept for 6 weeks, not a fucking week. You can't. I tried. Now I've got a story about how I tried really hard, and they came to resuscitate me because I was masturbating in the bathroom.
This is
all
true.
the leads were on me, and my heart rate was because I couldn't do it. I couldn't come.
But they all came rushing to your room.
They were beating on that door, and I'm like, I'm okay. I'm okay.
I'm so glad you told that part of the story because that is the
That was the funniest moment.
that was the best.
The worst moment was a different one. Anyway, I made the mistake of watching the original movie Old Boy.
Don't know that.
And
Don't know
I
that.
felt like I was trapped in that hospital, right? So then you start having waking dreams and stuff like that. Anyway, it was fucked up.
So that's David's first con experience. No, I'm kidding.
And I'm glad I was able to share that with each and every one of you.
Okay, so let me talk
I
about
got
what I
pictures to
was...
share.
So autograph pictures after the
So-
show.
Sorry, by the way, I'm sorry that I hijacked that.
No,
but thank you
But
very
no,
much.
Cricket's going to tell us about when she was really suicidal and wanted to kill herself last month now.
Anyway, if I could tell the good part of that story, because I wanted to finish
Is
out-
there an upper to this
Which
doggy
was,
downer
which was,
story?
which was, when I was in the hospital dying, my CEO at Gearbox, Randy Pittsford, said, "Do you have Twitter?" And I said, I have it, I've never used it, he just set it up. I'm going to show you something. And he showed me the magic of the love that we get from our fans, the people that are here right now, all of us, right? I might cry.
How many tweets? Thousands.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Moves you, doesn't it?
I am not able to have a bad day anymore. I have not had a bad day since, and it was amazing because I would not have been able to get through it if it wasn't for all the people just seeing the thoughts of love and support, and I want to have a baby and all that kind of stuff.
Well, obviously you can't go